Streaming on clickorlando.com, you're watching News 6 at 7 a.m.
Breaking overnight, a local apartment complex turns into a crime scene after a deadly shooting. What we've learned about the victim and what deputies are saying about a possible suspect.
Plus, keeping people safe in downtown Orlando. The update: city leaders are set to get just weeks after another incident of deadly violence.
And Central Florida's May heat wave continues. What some are doing to try and stay cool when we will finally see some relief. Good morning on your Monday. Yes, it's Monday, and it's 7 a.m. I'm Stephen Montiero.
TGIM, I'm Angie Casada. Justin and Crystal are both off today, and meteorologist Julie Bryan is in for Candace.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Welcome
different.
to the stream. This is my first time streaming here with you.
And I don't think we've worked together like this, hanging out before,
I know.
So this is
I
fun.
know. It's been a minute, so here we are. And I saw in the script it said something about a summer heat wave, and summer doesn't officially begin till June 20th.
Okay.
Insane.
It feels like summer, and we don't have any major relief in the forecast. We are keeping temperatures in the mid-90s as we head through the rest of our week with very minimal rain chances. We'll go ahead and start you out there with a nice look outside. Isn't this pretty? As we start out our Monday, some of our final weeks of school. So if you're getting ready to head out and take your kids to school, we are looking at muggy conditions. This is our Light Orlando Delivering Hope Together camera, where we are sitting at 77 degrees. We'll see a lot of sunshine, especially for the first part of the day, and that sunshine will shoot our temperatures well above the normal of 89. We go into the mid-90s. If you are in Pine Lakes, you're at 72, 73 if you're in Mount Dora right now, 75 in Port St. John, and it is 76 degrees in Lake Hart. Now, we will be getting close to records in a lot of spots today. Orlando will go to 95 degrees. The record was set way back in 1908. That is 98 degrees. Daytona Beach, you go into the low 90s. Your record set in 1995 was 94. In Sanford, you top out at 96. Closing in on that record of 97 degrees. Now, we do have a cold front we're tracking. We'll talk more about that. And we'll talk about the tropics coming up. But first, let's get a check of the roadways with Trooper Steve.
Right now, we're watching a crash westbound I-4 right here at the 102 mile marker. That's going to put you close to 417 in Sanford. You can see FHP out there with the left lane blocked. 4 cars involved with this, and the Road Ranger has really helped out and put those cones out. So please be careful. If you're getting ready to come in from Deltona or the Volusia County area, those westbound lanes are going to really slow down fast. So what am I going to say? I'm going to say increase your following distance. I say this all the time. Avoid that secondary crash. Get to the right-hand side because all those lanes are currently open. You can see traffic moving there. Once this clears, we'll be sure to let you know. Again, westbound I-4 right there at the Volusia Seminole County line.
Breaking overnight, a deadly shooting at an apartment complex in Orange County. This is what things looked like in just the last few hours at the Arium Lakeview Apartments. That's off of West Colonial Drive, not far from Good Homes Road. Deputies say they responded there last night and found a man in his 20s who had been shot. He was rushed to the hospital, but later pronounced dead. Investigators say that all parties involved in this have been accounted for, but at this point, they're not saying what led up to the shooting or if anyone was arrested. Happening today, city leaders in Orlando are set to get an update on the work to keep people safe in downtown Orlando.
There's been a lot of changes in the last few years, including requiring some bars and clubs open late to get special permits. But the case of violence has continued, including a deadly police shooting last month when officers encountered a man armed with a gun. News 6 Mark Lehman is following the latest live, and Mark, the police chief, is among those set to speak at a special workshop.
Yes, and he's expected to go through crime data gathered over the last few months here in downtown Orlando during the late night hours. Commissioners are getting an update and as they're working to make things safer for everyone in downtown.
The issue of safety in downtown Orlando is going to be discussed this morning as the Orlando City Council is holding a special workshop on after midnight operations. Orlando's police chief and director of the Downtown Development Board will be holding presentations less than a month after officers say they were forced to shoot and kill a man with a gun off of Orange Avenue. The city has been working to improve safety following a mass shooting in 2022. Orlando rolled out an after midnight alcohol sales permit program, and a curfew was put in place last fall after another shooting.
The impact is not only felt by it's felt by everybody. Everybody wants it to be safe. There's nobody who comes out here with the idea of not being safe.
The city's regulations required bar and club owners to pay for added security, and at least 2 were forced to shut down because of the costs.
want to stay open from 12 to 2. We do a 10% net profit, okay? That's $420,000 in sales we'd have to do to cover a $42,000 expense.
And despite all of the changes so far, security concerns continue, with the city still working towards solutions.
And today there's expected to be discussion about what strategies are working and what other action should be taken. That workshop gets underway at 10 this morning. We'll be there and keep you updated with what happens. For now, reporting live in downtown Orlando, Mark Lehman, News 6.
Thanks, Mark. This morning, we're waiting to find out what comes next for former President Biden after news he's been diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer. A statement from his doctor says the cancer was discovered during an exam last week. His doctor also says it has already spread to his bones, something experts say could complicate his treatments.
The fact that we're told that this is, metastatic now, the 5-year survival rate on average is about, 33%. So, there are some people that do well and some people that don't do well.
Biden's doctor says there's also other signs that the cancer may be manageable and that they're now weighing treatment options. We're putting that part of the story together for the bottom of the hour.
A big win for President Trump this morning. In a rare weekend vote, a House committee has advanced his spending bill to the next phase. And if it holds, some big tax cuts could soon become permanent. Reporter Amy Kiley shows us the potential timeline of what could come next.
Tonight, the House Budget Committee took a critical step to passing the One Big Beautiful Bill Act and making President Trump's America First vision a reality for the American people.
A bill that changes Medicaid and extends trillions of dollars in tax cuts is now over a key hurdle. That's after the House Budget Committee passed it late yesterday. The rare Sunday night vote is part of the Republican effort to get the measure on the floor this week. Now, House Speaker Mike Johnson is trying to get GOP moderates and fiscal hawks to come together.
I'm absolutely convinced we're going to get this in final form and pass it in accordance with our original deadline, and that was to do it before Memorial Day.
The bill creates new work requirements for Medicaid recipients. The program provides health coverage for about 72 million Americans. They include children, seniors, people with disabilities, parents, and adults without dependents.
There is nothing wrong with us bringing the government in balance, but there is a problem when that balance comes on the back of working men and women.
Last night's passage follows a failed Budget Committee vote on Friday. That's due to a few hardline Republicans who wanted changes, like moving up the timeline for Medicaid work requirements.
This bill falls profoundly short. It does not do what we say it does with respect to deficits.
Amy Kiley, News 6.
A man arrested after a deadly hit-and-run crash in Orange County will be staying in jail. A judge denied bond over the weekend for 65-year-old Fernandan Georges. Troopers say on Thursday he hit a 76-year-old who walked into the westbound lanes of Holden Avenue near Orange Blossom Trail. The victim later died at the hospital. Troopers say he kept on going, but was later arrested on charges of leaving the scene of a crash involving death. Now he's expected back in court on May 23rd.
Volusia County deputies are searching for more possible victims after a man is arrested for a roofing scam.
Yeah, this all surrounds a man named Andrew Ingram of Busy Bee Roofing. So please pay attention to this one. Deputies picked up this gentleman on a warrant Saturday night after they say he took $21,000 from a customer in Port Orange. The sheriff's office says Ingram never applied for the necessary permit, delivered any of the material, or showed up after taking someone's deposit. Investigators say the customer demanded a refund, but Ingram never responded. Now, if you lost any money when seeking service from Ingram, you were asked to call the sheriff's office. And we're now just a few weeks away from the unofficial start of summer. It may feel different, but Central Floridians already have been feeling that heat. So listen to this. The feels like temp of 100 degrees did not stop many from enjoying the weekend. It was a blast out there that includes at the Welcome to Rockville Festival up in Daytona Beach, where thousands were in search of ways to stay cool.
Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate.
Lots of sunscreen. We're VIPs, so hopefully we're able to stay in the shade a little bit. I'm hoping, but there's no guarantee. It's Florida. Welcome to Florida, right?
I guess VIP means you can stay hydrated all the time. While the warm weather continues, be aware that heat can be taxing on the body. Make sure to drink plenty of water. Water is the key, not other liquids, and apply sunscreen every 2 hours.
Yeah, VIP did not stop that heat. Listen, speaking of hot weather,
Yes.
let's check back in with meteorologist Julie Broughton in for Candace. No relief from this heat just yet, Julie.
No, we are talking about temperatures warmer than normal every single day in our extended forecast. Now today, even at the coast, some of you will go into the 90s thanks to a southwesterly flow. Daytona Beach, your beach forecast, you talk about at 92 degrees. The water temperature in the mid 70s, so that'll feel nice if you are planning to head to the beach. Keep in mind, we do have that elevated threat of rip current, so make sure you swim near a lifeguard. Here's what it looks like for you right now along the coast in Volusia County. This is our Daytona Beach sky camera. We do have a lot of cloud cover hanging around out there this morning. 74 degrees, and we'll again warm into the low 90s. Here's what we can expect by 3 o'clock this afternoon for our highs. Ocala, you will go to a high of 97. You go to 94 in the Villages, 95 for your high today in Orlando. And our southern coastal areas will be a little cooler thanks to a sea breeze that will develop later this afternoon. That means Cocoa Beach, you go to 88 degrees, and you will be at 89 degrees in Melbourne. Now, we may squeeze out a stray shower today, but most of us will stay dry throughout the day. Factor in the relative humidity. These are the numbers that are really important. It will feel like 101 degrees today in Leesburg, and it will feel like 102 in both Sanford and in Ocala. Now, coming up in your 7-day forecast, we'll talk about a front that is heading our way, what that means for our chance of rain, as well as our afternoon highs. But first, let's head back to Trooper Steve with a check of the roadways.
Thank you, Julie. One of our loyal viewers down in Kenansville wanted me to tell you thank you for giving Kenansville their weather report down there. He watches us every morning. He's excited about the crew change this morning. So appreciate you, Mr. Phillip down there. Listen, I-4 westbound right now at the 102. I'm watching this crash with the left lane blocked. It's got a 3-mile delay and it's very stop and go. So please watch your speed, watch your traveling distance in front of you. Don't need a secondary crash, and try to stick to the right-hand side. It's going to get you by faster. Outside of that, no other crash to currently report. 417 leaving Sanford and headed to Oviedo. You are currently all clear over Lake Jessup. And coming up, Epic Universe is now just days from its official opening, and that means more traffic.
It does. Coming up, the work underway to try and keep cars moving near the new park, and what you need to know about a new ramp that just opened this weekend.
But first, 7 inmates now on the run 3 days after a jailbreak in Louisiana. The push the governor is now giving to get them back in police custody. You're watching News 6 Mornings. We'll be right back. New this morning, the reward for the capture of 7 inmates who escaped from a New Orleans jail has now increased. So the FBI says 7 of the 10 men are still at large after escaping through a hole behind a toilet. Now the FBI is offering $10,000 per inmate. There are around 200 law enforcement officers assigned to this manhunt alone for the escaped inmates. Louisiana's Governor Jeff Landry says it's the worst escape in recent history of the state.
However, the problem is we were just doing one part, which is the arresting of them. They then have to be placed through the system that ultimately finds out whether they're guilty or innocent. And if they're guilty and they're violent, they need to go to jail.
So far, 3 jail employees have been suspended following the escape. It's unclear why they were subject to disciplinary action.
Some parents at a Seminole County middle school are demanding answers this morning after a weekend dance ended with several students getting sick. This happened on Saturday night at Teague Middle School's 8th grade dance at the Hilton in Altamont Springs. Deputies say a total of 6 students reported feeling ill. One of them was sick enough they had to go to the hospital. In a statement, the sheriff's office told us there was a rumor the punch may have been spiked, but also said there's no indication that happened and that several others, including chaperones and deputies, drank the punch without having any issues. We're now just a few days away from the official opening of Universal's new Epic Universe.
And it all comes as some big construction projects near the new park continue. News 6 Stephanie Rodriguez joins us live from Sand Lake Road. And Stephanie, a ramp just opened over the weekend out there.
Yeah, that's right. The new westbound exit to Sand Lake Road is officially open. It's a sign of progress for the project that still has some time to go. It's set to be finished in 2027.
What's it been like with all the construction?
Horrible. Horrible. Yeah, I see a lot of accidents. It takes forever to get home, forever to get on there. It's horrible.
While people have different opinions.
I mean, it's hectic, but I'm excited for it to, get done. It is a lot of traffic here, but hopefully once it's opened up and functioning like normal, it'll make it easier for everyone to get around. So I'm excited for it.
The Beyond the Ultimate project is working to make the gateway to some of Central Florida's biggest attractions larger and more efficient. Last year, the diverging diamond on Sand Lake Road opened, eliminating the left turn and increasing the intersection's capacity. While it's taking form, it won't be done for 2 more years, leaving some frustrated.
I mean, it's mainly just inconvenience. It's the time when you get off and you have to sit. Literally, it'll take sometimes 20 to 30 minutes before you can even get on to I-4.
It's kind of like I'm wasting my time with all the time I just spend sitting in traffic.
With Universal's newest theme park, Epic Universe, having its grand opening this week, there's set to be even more traffic on the interstate. But the hope is once everything is said and done, things will be a lot easier.
I-4 always needs help. And yeah, now that Epic is opening up, Disney's always busy. So yeah, I think it'll definitely help with the tourist traffic as well.
And the work continues this week. I-4 between Kirkman Road and State Road 528 will be closed overnight until Friday morning as crews work to widen the westbound exit there. Reporting live in Orlando, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
Hey, any progress is good progress. Thank you, Stephanie. Take a look at this as a big crowd breaks a Guinness World Record for the most people dressed as Smurfs in France. You can do a Guinness record for anything. The town streets were flooded by a blue wave of festivity with over 3,000 participants gathered. The previous record was held by a neighboring town, a little bit of a rivalry there. The event, by the way, is pretty timely with the new Smurfs movie due out in theaters later this year. This is an interesting gathering of things. I always wonder where people go, all right, I want to set a record. Let's do it kind of thing.
We should do it here.
No, let's not. But it's like,
it would be great.
Let's just dress up as Smurfs.
Yeah.
And they do it.
I still think they smell like blueberries. I'm just saying.
I think it'd be better.
Why don't you Google that and see
I should,
if
actually.
that is a thing? Because maybe you're thinking of like a Smurf toy from back in the day.
I bet you are
like
getting some type of memory that's in your head
it has
somewhere.
to be. Yes, because you are very
adamant
about the blueberry smell.
Yes, that this is how it's going.
Well, hopefully it won't be warm blueberries. I like them cool and like a nice.
Yes, that would be nice today. Nice and refreshing
nice
today.
Salad.
A nice snack, or you know how people freeze grapes. You know, I wonder if we can do that to blueberries.
That's a good
and then
one.
have that snack by the pool, or if you're heading out to the beach, because you're going to need to find ways to cool down today. Maybe head out to the splash pad. We are talking about temperatures feeling like the low 100s. We'll be flirting with records in a lot of spots as we climb into the mid-90s for our actual highs. We'll keep it warmer than normal every every day in our extended forecast. Now, as we head into the weekend, our rain chance does begin to go up a little bit by Thursday thanks to a front moving into the area, but we're still not talking about any drought-busting rain out there. Our drought numbers are continuing to get a little worse because it has been very dry for the last several days. Here's what it looks like for us as we take a live look outside at 7:19. This is our Light Orlando Delivering Hope Together camera over downtown Orlando. 77 degrees. Those temperatures are on the rise now that we are past sunset. Still sitting in the 60s, though, in some spots. 68 in Ocala and Wildwood. The Villages, you're at 70, and you are sitting at 73 right now in Cocoa Beach. Here is your hour-by-hour forecast. It's probably about time to take the dog on a walk, and if you're doing so, Lucy wishes you well on your walk. She's enjoying watching a little TV this morning. 78 degrees at 9 o'clock. We warm into the low 80s during the 10 o'clock hour, and by 11 o'clock, we are already in the mid-80s. Head to clickorlando.com/pin so you can share your pet photos with us and your weather photos. We love to see all of it. Now, if you are heading out walking your dog today, we showed a picture of Lulu earlier this morning wearing her new shoes. Keep in mind the concrete and asphalt get really warm out there as temperatures climb into the mid-90s, so it can be dangerous for paws. So just make sure you're keeping an eye on that. Here's a look at the pattern that's been in place for us for the last several days. Big ridge of high pressure in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. You can kind of see that bump there in those lines. Now, as we head into Thursday, you'll notice everything kind of beginning to flatten. We'll see a trough digging in from the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. That will help to bring a front into our area, which will bring us that chance of some showers Thursday with some lingering moisture into the weekend. We are rapidly approaching hurricane season, which officially begins June 1st. It was actually last Thursday that the National Hurricane Center began issuing their tropical outlooks, where they let us know what is happening that we're keeping an eye on. And the good news, no new development expected within the next week. Here's how it looks as we take you through your next 7 days. 95 for your high today by 4 o'clock. Expect a less than 20% chance of a stray shower. 96 tomorrow, 95 for Wednesday, and then by Thursday, our front comes in with a 20% chance of showers. Highs in the low 90s, so still warmer than normal, but a little bit better than mid to upper 90s. Overnight lows stay in the 60s and 70s. Let's head back to Trooper Steve with a check of the roads.
All right, man. You can look at that 7 day and it's just humid. You just feel it kind of thing. All right, guys, so this crash slowly clearing out. We still have the left lane blocked out here. It's going to be I-4 westbound at the 102. This puts us at 417, that Sanford kind of corridor as you come over Lake Monroe. You can see FDOT currently working the cameras out there. Appreciate you guys tuning into News 6 this morning. As you're headed in, just stay to the right-hand side and you'll be good to go. Your drive times, Lake Mary to Maitland, 9 minutes. Why is it 9 minutes? Because that crash has all the other traffic stopped. So silver lining here, just take it nice and easy. Let's not cause another crash out there. Where's no delays? Where Stephanie Rodriguez is reporting. Take it nice and easy. Give her a little honk if you drive on by.
A warning from law enforcement across Central Florida.
At the bottom of the hour, what to listen out for next time you answer a number you don't know.
The most dangerous chemicals hiding in your kitchen. Straight ahead, why scientists are now calling for stricter laws on what you're allowed to eat.
You're watching News 6 Mornings. We'll be right back. Keep it here. An urgent health alert about what's in your food. A recent study shows synthetic chemicals are becoming a growing risk. A study by the Food Packaging Forum Foundation showed the highest levels of harmful synthetic chemicals are found in ultra-processed and packaged foods. The study author are now calling for tougher regulations on these chemicals in addition to safer food packaging.
A new study shows older women can age more gracefully by eating more high-quality carbs and fiber. A study by Tufts University showed that for women over the age of 70, healthy aging can be boosted by eating more whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and legumes. Carbs are from added sugars and refined grains led to lower odds of healthy aging.
Still ahead, a breakdown of what's next for former President Biden after a cancer diagnosis.
Plus, a scary scene in a local neighborhood. The video deputies want you to see after they say a man tried to kidnap a woman at gunpoint.
And pushing for safer downtown Orlando, the update leaders are set to get just weeks after a deadly shooting involving police.
Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live, you're watching News 6.
I'm meteorologist Julie Broughton. Hope your Monday is going well. We are keeping heat around as we head through the next several days. Here's how we're starting things out, though. This is our Light Orlando Delivering Hope Together camera over downtown Orlando. Really pretty shot for you here at 7:29. We are sitting at 77 degrees. We do warm up quickly. Your hour-by-hour forecast featuring Lucy, showing we go into the low 80s. By 10 o'clock, we top out today at 95 degrees. Now let's head to Trooper Steve with a check of the roads.
Thank you, Julie. Things are still slow westbound I-4 at the 102. This puts you just on the north end there of Seminole as you're making your way in. Left lane is still closed by FHP out there. 2 cars still waiting to get towed out. No other major issues in our area. Your drive time's still looking good in the westbound direction. You can thank that crash. Outside of that, westbound 434 to 50 flowing nicely. Also, Sand Lake up to speed. The news continues next. Remember, you can get updates on our big stories anytime over at clickorlando.com.
This portion of the news is sponsored by AK Certified Roofing. Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live, you're watching News 6.
Time now 7:30. Let's get a check of our top stories. And breaking overnight, a man is dead after a shooting at an apartment complex. The victim, who is in his 20s, was found late last night at Arium Lakeview Complex off of West Colonial Drive.
President Biden is said to be weighing his treatment options after being diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer. His doctor says the cancer was discovered during an exam last week.
And leaders in Orlando are set to get an update this morning on work being done to keep people safe in downtown. It comes after several cases of violence led to new rules and fees for club and bars that are open late.
Turning now to the weather, as our 90-degree days are set to continue all across Central Florida.
Let's check back in with meteorologist Julie Broughton, who is in for Candace. And Julie, it's a good beach day out there. I love that camera back there.
I know. I just want to take a look at this camera and, everyone take a nice deep breath as we start out our new week. Beautiful shot there. This is our Daytona Beach sky cam. A little bit of haze out there, and we have seen some clouds at times. But overall, it will shape up to be a decent beach day, although we are going to go into the 90s, even along the coast. Right now, you're sitting at 74 degrees and some of that cloud cover hanging around. And a lot of us will be in record territory today. We're talking about 95 for a high in Orlando. The record is 98, but look at this in Daytona Beach. You'll go to 92. Your record was set in 1995, and that is 94 degrees. In Sanford, 96. Your record is 97 degrees. Now, as we head through the next several days, we'll keep our highs warmer than normal, going into the low to mid 90s as we head into the rest of the week. We are tracking a front that heads our way on Thursday, and along with that, that brings with it the chance of a few isolated showers. So we'll break that down for you and take a look ahead to your Memorial Day weekend. Never too early to look ahead to our next weekend. That's coming up. But first, let's head to Trooper Steve with a check of the roads.
The way you said 97, I thought you were going to 98 and then break out in song all of a sudden, like bring some of the 98 degrees songs back in the thing. They had some good music. Angie's looking at me. She knows what we're talking about. Boy band moment, why not? It's Orlando. Westbound I-4 at the 102. This is almost cleared out, guys, but it's causing a major backup all the way to Deltona. So if you're coming in from Volusia, Orange City, DeLand, add 10 to 15 extra minutes. I would reroute you through 1792, but everyone else is already headed there. So either way, you're expecting some heavy delays there right around I-4 westbound, 417 in Sanford. A stunning health revelation from former President Joe Biden, his family confirming he's being diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer that spread to his bones. As Naomi Ruckham explains, the 82-year-old is said to be weighing treatment options as leaders and doctors weigh in.
Former President Joe Biden and his family say they're reviewing treatment options after he was diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer that has spread to his bones. In a statement, the Biden family says the diagnosis came after doctors found a nodule on his prostate when he was seen for increased urinary symptoms.
There's been tremendous progress in the treatment of prostate cancer over the last decade and a half.
Cancer doctors say there are effective treatments despite the 82-year-old former president's advanced age.
Patients, even who are diagnosed with more aggressive, more advanced stage disease, can live many years and have good quality of life.
President Donald Trump reacted on social media saying, "Melania and I are saddened to hear about Joe Biden's recent medical diagnosis. We wish Joe a fast and successful recovery." Former President Barack Obama adding in a statement, "Nobody has done more to find breakthrough treatments for cancer in all its forms than Joe, and I'm certain he will fight this challenge with his trademark resolve and grace." Mr. Obama was referring to Mr. Biden's Cancer Moonshot Initiative, aimed at better research, prevention, and care.
Let's end cancer as we know it. Cure some cancers once and for all.
The initiative was inspired by his late son Beau Biden's battle with brain cancer. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
Happening today, an update on Orlando's push to make downtown safer. City leaders are holding a special workshop to discuss rules that have been in place since 2023. That includes more security and special permits for bars that stay open past midnight. News 6's Mark Lehman joins us live. And Mark, even with all of that, the violence hasn't stopped.
Yeah, it was just last month when Orlando police say they were forced to open fire on a man here in downtown because he had a gun and refused to drop it. That encounter has prompted a discussion with city leaders who are taking a closer look at a plan of action. For several years now, the city of Orlando has been working to make downtown safer. It's a goal that continues as commissioners are now holding a workshop to get an update on late night operations. The city rolled out a series of changes in 2022 after a mass shooting that included an after midnight alcohol sales permit program.
I understand some of you are going to end up closing because of their circumstances.
Bar and club owners were required to pay for added security if they wanted to sell alcohol after midnight. At least two say the extra cost led to the closure of their establishments. The city also rolled out a plan to reopen Orange Avenue to traffic so people would be forced onto sidewalks.
Keeping people on the sidewalks keeps it a little less crowded. And I guess congestion would help with like safety, so there's not like huge crowds of people just out in the streets.
All of the changes have been to improve safety, yet just last month, officers say they were forced to shoot and kill an armed man on Orange Avenue. Following that scene, today's discussion will be centered around what strategies have been working and what other action could happen late night in downtown. At a meeting last month, Mayor Buddy Dyer said the city could take a closer look at ending all alcohol sales after midnight. That's something that may be discussed during today's workshop, which gets underway at 10 this morning. We'll keep you updated with the developments. For now, reporting live in Orlando, Mark Lehman, News 6.
Thank you, Mark. Orange County deputies want you to take a close look at the man in this surveillance video right here. They say he tried to kidnap a woman at gunpoint, all while she was just out walking her dog. This happened back on May 11th. Deputies say the woman was near Addison Street and Lee Road when a man in a gray SUV turned to block her path, pointed a gun at her, and told her to get in the vehicle. The woman was able to run off and wasn't hurt, thank goodness. Deputies say the SUV was stolen earlier that morning, and that's where the suspect was caught on camera. If you have any information, you're urged to call Crime Line at 1-800-423-TIPS.
We're waiting for Orange County deputies to tell us the name of the man shot and killed during a SWAT team search at a home. We brought you this as breaking news Friday afternoon. Deputies say the SWAT team had gone into a home on Lejeune Drive in Pine Hills when the man reached behind a door where a rifle was located. A deputy then opened fire, with the man later dying at the hospital.
I did see that video, and it's clear that the person is reaching for something, and there was a rifle found behind that door.
Now, deputies say they also found trafficking amounts of fentanyl and cocaine inside the house, as well as other loaded guns.
In just hours, Orange County top law enforcers are set to unveil an update in a major investigation. So Sheriff John Mina, Attorney General James Uthmeyer, and FDLE Deputy Commissioner Shane Pollard are all expected to speak. So far, no details on what this case involves, but the briefing is set for 10 o'clock this morning. We will be sure to update you on air and over at clickorlando.com.
A controversial black bear hunt in Florida is back in the spotlight this week. Fish and Wildlife officials are set to meet Wednesday and Thursday in Ocala to discuss the possibility of having a 3-week hunt in December. Supporters say it helps control the bear population, but critics argue it's inhumane. Several people showed up at Lake Eola over the weekend to protest.
The real reason that, they're wanting to hurt them is really just for a trophy. There's not any real proof that they need to kill them.
Now, the last hunt was in 2015. Hunters reached their limit of 300 bears in just a few days, despite the hunt lasting a full week.
Storm cleanup is underway right now after severe weather battered Kentucky and Missouri. At least 30 people have died across both states, with rescue teams working around the clock to find survivors and clear the debris. Kentucky suffered the worst of this, with tornadoes wrecking hundreds of homes and leaving just communities absolutely devastated. Missouri also reported several fatalities and widespread damage. Now, this morning, neighbors are bracing for more potential severe weather to be on the way. And turning over to meteorologist Julie Broughton, this is just rough stuff, but this could happen at any time this time of year.
Right, and especially in that part of the country, this is the season for them to see those powerful tornadoes. I want to show you the convective outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. So we show you this here in our area as well. This gives us an idea of where they'll see the most intense weather. And this is for tomorrow. And so you're talking about southern Indiana, much of Kentucky, down to Tennessee, talking about that enhanced risk of severe weather. So again, they will likely see some more powerful thunderstorms as we head through the next couple of days, which is It's just bad news for those folks who are cleaning up all that devastation from the weekend. Now, here in Central Florida, we are keeping things pretty quiet as we move through the next several days. Our big story will continue to be the heat. We're talking about record highs today, or at least near record highs today, climbing well above normal into the mid and even upper 90s, or upper 90s as far as heat index readings. Let's go ahead and show you what it looks like outside right now. This is our camera in Port Canaveral. This is our Launch Credit Union camera. Doesn't this look absolutely beautiful? We could just leave it on this and admire this all day. We're talking about temperatures right now generally in the 70s. I think my clicker needs new batteries. It is not very happy with it being Monday, so I'll move over here. Yeah, so we're talking about highs today, again, going into the mid to upper 90s, 74 degrees. Right now, the heat is sticking around. We'll break this down much more in just a few minutes, but first, let's head to Trooper Steve with a check of the roads.
Well, it's sunny out here, but it doesn't look as nice as Cape Canaveral did in Julie's camera there. This is going to be westbound I-4 at the 102. This is right inside Seminole County as you're headed westbound I-4 over Lake Monroe. Your left lane still blocked out here, and it's causing a major backup. However, it is helping the rest of downtown or Central Florida. So just take it nice and easy, please. Stay to the right-hand side. 25 minutes, John Young Parkway to 27 if you're leaving us this morning. Lake Mary to Maitland, 10 and 434 to that area, same thing. Last week, out on patrol, we finished up Police Week with a great conversation with Charles Broadway, or Chuck, the new chief of police for the Kissimmee Police Department. This guy's no stranger to the Central Florida community. He was the former Claremont police chief and a retired NYPD officer. Head over to clickorlando.com. Talk about a great conversation. Today, you guys steer where I go sometimes, and today I'm headed down to the Boggy Creek, Simpson Road, Narcoossee area. I know, wish me luck. 10 a.m., join me. Time now, 7:41. What if you got a call saying you missed jury duty and now you have to pay or that you're going to go to jail?
Oh, no. Well, that's the threat some scammers are using to fool people across Central Florida. How one woman almost handed over $2,000 and the warning from law enforcement to stay safe over the phone.
First, though, a Mexican Navy ship slams into an iconic landmark in New York City. The latest on the investigation into what possibly went wrong.
Oh, and New York and federal officials are investigating what caused a Mexican Navy training ship to crash into the Brooklyn Bridge. 2 people were killed. Dozens others were hurt when the tall ship Cuauhtémoc hit the bridge Saturday night, and videos showing the mast snapping while sailors held on for dear life. It was leaving New York for Iceland when officials say the ship lost power during a ceremonial departure.
One thing is very clear. There are many more questions than answers as to how the accident occurred and whether it could have been prevented.
Now, a vigil was held Sunday night to honor the victims. Meanwhile, the National Transportation Safety Board is sending a team to investigate.
All right, all new this morning, a warning for you guys before you pick up that phone.
Oh yeah, law enforcement agencies across Central Florida are warning there are people posing as law enforcement, claiming you missed jury duty and now owe big bucks. News 6's investigator Louis Bolden is showing us what to watch out for.
They told me they were an officer from Orange County Sheriff's Department and that I missed jury duty and I had a warrant out for my arrest.
They were words that shook Jennifer Bennett to her core from a caller demanding money.
He told me that I had a $20,000 bond and I was able to pay 10% of it over the phone through Zelle.
Hello?
This is Sergeant Mike Jones with the Sheriff's Office.
So many people are getting the calls and losing money that it prompted Orange County Sheriff John Mina, Clerk of Courts Tiffany Moore Russell, and Chief Judge Lisa Munyon to produce this public service announcement warning the public.
Every week, criminals claiming to work for the court system or law enforcement call our residents threatening to arrest them for missing jury duty.
This is a scam.
The clerk's office will never contact you by phone or email, demanding money or personal information.
Seminole, Lake, and Volusia County officials have issued similar alerts. In Volusia County, the callers claim you owe a traffic citation.
For Bennett, what was also startling was how much the caller seemed to know about her.
What type of information did he have?
He had my full name, date of birth, and last 3 known addresses.
But when the caller asked her to send the $2,000 with Zelle, she knew it was a scam.
Now, if they would have said send it through, like my clerk or something like that, I probably would have sent the money.
Remember, don't fall for the scheme, don't get ripped off, but if you do, email me at theinvestigators@wkmg.com. I'm Louis Bolden, News 6.
Think 14 is too young for college? Well, then let's just flip the script here for a second. This teen did it very well. Benjamin earned a double degree in math and computer science from Lewis University, making history as their youngest graduate ever. He started calculus at 5, skipped grade school, and finished high school and junior college by 10. Now he's already working on his master's degree and dreaming of a career of artificial intelligence. With that degree in mind, Benjamin says he's going to relax and enjoy family vacation this summer. Meanwhile, I finished a bachelor's at 28.
Okay, and then calculus.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's great.
That was great, but my goodness.
We're
That's
all
good.
on our own timeline.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, everyone needs a Julie Broughton in their
Right?
life, and you have a 10-year-old out there
Positive.
killing it. Good for you,
Okay,
young
he's 14.
man. 14, yeah. Oh, so yeah.
But you know what? That's so impressive. My daughter is 15 and she's a freshman, and
Yeah.
the workload of regular high school
Right.
is insane.
For sure.
The classes that they're doing is also challenging. So for him to accomplish all that is
Insane.
even more amazing.
You also, though, have a very brilliant daughter.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And-
Thank you. I
yes.
think so as well.
Absolutely.
How are we looking today?
We are hot out there, good cool day. Definitely one of those days where if you're working outside or if you have outdoor practices, anything you have going on, make sure you are going ahead and thinking, how can I cool down? How can I take breaks? Is there shade around here? Because we're going into the mid-90s. We'll be nearing records in some spots, but the big deal for today is it will feel like the low 100s by around 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon. And our rain does remain limited, and I want you to check this out. This is our heat risk, and we are talking about a major heat risk for a lot of Central Florida, and that just means that if you are having illnesses or conditions that make you susceptible to heat, or maybe you don't have air conditioning, that it can be a rough situation for you, so keep that in mind. Here's what it looks like for you right now. We're taking a live look outside. This is our Light Orlando Delivering Hope Together camera over downtown Orlando. A little bit of haze out there here at 7:48. Overall, though, we'll see a lot of sunshine for the first part of our day. We're at 77 degrees. We will warm up quickly, though, and Trooper Steve, I know you're reading ahead, but I picked this picture just because I knew you would love it. This is another picture of Lulu modeling her new hair as well as her new fashionable boots for the warm weather. 82 degrees at 8 o'clock if you're heading out to walk your dog. You'll keep it mild and muggy this morning. By 11 o'clock, we are already in the mid to upper 80s. Please head to clickorlando.com/pins to share your pet photos with us. It absolutely delights us. We'll also take your weather pictures too, but we really like the pet pictures. 75 degrees right now if you're in Sanford, 75 in Chuliota, Port St. John checking in at 75 degrees, 76 in Lake Hart, and 71 degrees in Lake Panasoffkee, 68 degrees in Reddick. Braddock, and it is 70 degrees if you are checking in Lady Lake. Heading down to check out our friends in our southern counties, 75 in Micco. Deer Park, you're also in the mid-70s, 74 in Kenansville, and 77 degrees right now in St. Cloud. By 3 o'clock today, we'll go to an afternoon high in the mid, even upper 90s in some spots. 96 for your high today in Sanford. Ocala, you go to 97 degrees and 95 in Kissimmee, but you factor in that relative humidity. This is how it will feel. That's why we're saying drink a lot of water, find shade, take a lot of breaks. It will feel like 99 in Daytona Beach, 102 in Sanford, and it will feel like 99 as well in the Villages. Now here's a look at our upper level pattern, which will be shifting this week. Now we've had this big dome of high pressure in place, but watch by Wednesday how this area kind of begins to flatten out. We'll see a front moving into our area, so it will be slightly cooler and also bring with it a chance of rain. We are nearing hurricane season, which begins on June 1st. National Hurricane Center issuing those tropical outlooks. We are in good shape right now. Nothing to be concerned about. Here's how it shapes up for us for the next 7 days. We go to a high today of 95 degrees, so getting close to the record, which is 98 in Orlando. 96 for your high tomorrow. Then that front moves in on Thursday, bringing some isolated showers and temperatures in the low 90s as we move into our holiday weekend. And we'll see a chance of a few showers just about every afternoon this weekend.
Things looking good right now when it comes to other crashes out there. Left lane currently blocked in Seminole County. Look, the tow truck just pulling up out here. This is live DOT cam. Slow your speed or we're going to have another crash out here. You can see how fast some of these guys are flying past this crash. And there's people standing out there. So again, westbound I-4 at State Road 46, 102 mile marker, and it's causing some major delays. But after that, you'll briefly slow down at Lake Mary Boulevard, and then you're just clear as day out there. The rest of I-4 express lanes nice and smooth. John Young Parkway doing well, and the eastern portions of 408 up to speed. A historic moment for the Catholic Church as the first U.S. Pope holds his inaugural Mass. His message to a divided world next.
Pope Leo XIV is now officially installed as the first U.S. Pope in history. Thousands filled St. Peter's Square yesterday for his inaugural Mass. He was joined by world leaders, including Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio. The 69-year-old spent the Mass calling for unity in the church and praying for peace in Ukraine and Gaza. And afterwards, he shared a hug with his brother Louis, who currently lives in Florida.
In your health headlines, a new COVID vaccine is out, but it's not available to everyone. After a 6-week delay, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has approved a more traditional protein-based COVID vaccine produced by Novavax. That set it apart from the mRNA vaccine developed by Moderna and Pfizer. The FDA is limited to those 65 and older or 12 and older with an underlying condition that makes them high risk.
Today, Groveland commissioners are set to vote on big upgrades for the city's fire and utility services.
Yeah, they say it's needed to keep up with the rapid growth and to meet demands for the future. They're considering a $10 million loan to build a permanent fire station at State Road 19 and O'Brien Road, which would replace a temporary station that's been in use for about 5 years. Also on the table, a $15 million line of credit to fix and improve the city's water and sewer systems.
Everyone's working as hard as they can work to keep looking towards the future.
Tonight's meeting starts at 7. Julie.
Hello.
Hello.
It is mild as we are heading out the door this morning. This is what it looks like for you right now in downtown Orlando. Our Light Orlando delivering Hope Together camera. 77 degrees right now. We'll see a lot of sunshine for the first part of our day, warming us all the way into the mid, even upper 90s in some spots. You go to 97 in Ocala, 95 in Orlando, 89 in Melbourne. Normal high this time of year is 89 degrees. These are the numbers I want you to look at and think about. This is how it will feel right around school pickup time today. So if you have practices, anything going on outside, we are talking about it feeling like the low 100s. Drink a lot of water, take a lot of breaks. It is dangerous heat in some spots.
All right. So westbound I-4, we are seeing those delays right now out there in Seminole County. That left lane's been closed for about an hour at this point. So just take it nice and easy. The tow truck is there. Give it about 20 minutes and this will be gone. Deltona, you're seeing the delays. Everyone else, you're benefiting from this crash, especially in the downtown Orlando area. Everyone else, looking good. Thanks for joining us. Remember, we break news over at clickorlando.com.
You can also find all of our stories on our News 6 Plus app for your TV.
Have a great day. Take it easy. Be safe.